In a separate video, I showed how I raised the Catalina 22 mast using the boom as a gin pull. But most of the time, I'll do it like I'm going to show you now, which is without a gin pull and using just the main sheet and its mechanical advantage to help hoist the mast off of the crutch. First, I raise up the crutch to elevate the mast a little bit. Helps to get it started. Notice I'm doing this on the water. Most of the time I'll do this on the ramp or in the launch area before we launch, but sometimes I'll actually launch the boat with the mast down, and then if I know I'm going to be in a slip that night, I'll go ahead and step the mast later. Making sure that my boom topping lift line and the backstay are clear from the crutch. As I move to midships, there's a center support that I've made out of 4-inch PVC pipe that helps steady the mast while we're trailering. I can set it aside and then pull the mast out of the pulpit saddle that I made out of 2x6 vinyl fence railing. As I push the mast back on the crutch, twist it a couple of times to make my lazy jack lines clear the crutch roller, and now it's ready to set into the step and secure with the bolt and a wing nut. There's just barely enough clearance to set the mast with my bimini in the forward position here, which is where I put it when I'm trailering. Keeps it out of the cockpit area where I'm usually working and getting into the lazarettes to set the boat up. As usually happens, not everything goes perfectly, so here the forestay is tangled a little bit on the crutch, so I have to go back and clear it before I can begin raising the mast. And now I'm ready to clip the forestay's quick release lever into the snap shackle on the end of the main sheet. The main sheet is snapped into the stem fitting with another snap shackle. I can cleat the main sheet at any point to hold the mast in position while I either move into a better spot for raising or clear any one of the lines that might have gotten in the way. Making sure the backstay turnbuckle is free and clear, and I'm ready to raise. Usually stand over the cockpit and raise it a ways with one hand while I pull on the main sheet with the other. You can see it's a pretty easy pull. There's a lot of mechanical advantage. Then I step on top of the cabin to raise it the rest of the way. Once the mast gets to about 45 degrees, the upper shrouds come tight and hold the mast centered. And it's just a matter of pulling it over the rest of the way until the backstay comes taut. I'm done with the main sheet now. I can just move around and make sure that the forward lower shrouds are in the correct position, and that I can reconnect them. I can grab the forestay to hold tension on the top of the mast while I attach, in this case, the port forward lowered shroud to its chain plate bolt. I have quick release levers on the forward lower shrouds as well, and use drop cam bimini pins to pin them into the chain plate bolts. The beauty of having quick release levers on all these forward shrouds is that my mast is always in tune. Without them, you have to loosen the forward lower shrouds in order to step the mast and re-tighten them afterward and recheck the tune of the mast with a lose gauge. This way I know my mast is always in tune before I'm ready to sail. Connected the starboard forward lower shroud, And now I'm disconnecting the forestay from the main sheet. Remove the main sheet from the stem fitting and replace it with the quick release lever of the forestay. Once it's locked in place, the mast is up, in tune, and ready to go sailing. For more information about this project, or to find more practical, affordable, or just plain cool do-it-yourself projects, visit stingysailor.com, the #1 Google website for DIY sailboat restoration improvement without throwing your budget overboard.